And that Twickenham fixture that's happened just twice in the last decade, so not that you often get a chance to take on New Zealand here. How much are you looking forward to?
Yeah, buzzing. Obviously, you want to test yourself against the best, and New Zealand have always been one of the best teams in the world. So I'm excited, man. Been out of the mix for a while. Be nice to step back in, get my teeth sunk into it.
A lot's been talked about the Haka over the last couple of days. How do you find facing it?
I've only ever faced it once, but it's massive history of the game. I think most people who aren't necessarily too interested in rugby still know what the Haka is. Massive part of rugby in general. I know everyone's a bit divided on it. I quite like it. I think it's a bit of a challenge. I'm a big fan of it.
I think Joe Marler's point was that maybe you should be allowed to do something in response or advance towards it. Would you buy into that?
You're not allowed to advance towards it anyway.
Over the 10
over the halfway over the 10 metres. I don't know. I don't know the ruling on it, but yeah, it's a good part of the game, man. I don't think we should get rid of it. I think you should be able to respond to it, but I think everyone's respectful when they do. Don't think I've seen anyone sort of take the Michael, so to speak.
And how could the Twickenham crowd help as well, reduce the impact of it?
I quite like the impact it has, but it's a challenge, isn't it? So obviously you want Twickenham on their feet regardless if there's a Haka or not, so I'm sure they'll impact it in their own way.
Tom, there's no even to group for New Zealand. How big a loss is that for them?
I think when you lose any player, it's a loss, but by the sounds of it, he wasn't in contention for selection, so it probably hasn't affected their preparation. Williams coming in is a strong young player and has had plenty of test experience, so probably in terms of performance, not a huge loss for them in preparation.
Ellis, the last time England were here was the Ireland game when this place was bouncing, and how important is it to get it like that again?
I think every game's different. I think the likelihood is that it'd be bouncing every time we're playing well. That's usually how it works. If you play well, the crowd's loud. Can't really rest on external factors. You know what I mean? You can't really bank on that sort of stuff. I think Twickenham's a great stadium to play at, and I'm excited to play there. And if the crowd are on their feet, that makes me happy as well.
Ellis, you've got Ben Spencer in the scrum half. What does he bring in terms of leadership and marshalling the pack around?
I haven't played with Spencer too much in terms of leadership. He's a quiet enough character, but he's obviously done incredible for Bath. He was club captain for Bath for a period of time now. So I think he puts it on a 50p piece when he kicks. It's obviously what he's brilliant at, and on the test stage, that's massively important. So yeah, I'm looking forward to running out with him, even though he's at Bath.
Yeah, teams had 2 tests against New Zealand quite recently. What does the squad feel they've sort of learned from those 2 close games in July?
Nothing they didn't know already, I guess. Test rugby's always fine margins, 99% of the time. It was 1 point. Was it both tests? 1 point.
1.1 try.
1.1 try. So yeah, it was one score apiece both times. That's usually the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? It's very, very fine margins, and we know that. So yeah, don't necessarily read too much into it.
Are you expecting another close encounter then?
Yeah, we're just going to throw ourselves into it, and we'll see who comes out on top at the end. But as I said on the first question, New Zealand have always been one of the best teams in the world, so you got to brace yourself for that sort of stuff.
New Zealand have talked lots about how far they've come though, since obviously Scott Robertson has been at the helm much longer. What have you noticed improve in their game or change in their game since the last time you played?
In 2022, I'll do well to cast my memory back that long right now. Well, obviously watching them in the summer, I thought they were very abrasive, very direct, good team. They moved the ball well, kicking off 12 a little bit to the edge, but that's nothing to do with me. I don't necessarily need to break down their game. They've got a very good set piece. I think everyone always thinks about New Zealand being that team that moves the ball so well, so fluidly, but at the end of the day, they actually pride themselves on set piece, scrum and maul, so that's a massive battle of attrition for me that I'm looking forward to.
Tom, on that note, we've been told that Trevor Davison's covering both sides in event of a last-minute injury or anything. Is he capable of doing that? He played with much at loose head?
Yeah, so Trev first started. Yeah, he's been captain both positions. When he first started playing, he played at Blaydon for years, and he was a loose head prop. When he came into the Premiership, he played at Newcastle, and he was a loose head prop. He then changed to tight head partway through his time at Newcastle. He's recently played loose head against Leicester for Northampton Saints, so I've got confidence in his ability to play both sides.
Would you like to call in someone else next week now that Joe's unlikely to come back?
I think the decisions will be made post this weekend on what we do, where we go, and that stuff. So there'll be discussions post the weekend. But our whole focus now was just on this weekend, that 23 that's out there.
Ellis, on the response to the Haka, Jamie was talking to us last night and saying that you're going to decide what to do. Have you made a decision yet? What would you like to do in response?
I don't know. Chat about it later, I suspect.
Do you think you will do something?
I don't think we're going to start climbing on each other's shoulders, but yeah, I mean, we'll sit there respectfully and watch it. We'll chat about it later on. We've got a meeting later, so we'll see what the crack is.
Tom, just in terms of the journey of this team, obviously pushed New Zealand close twice in the summer, but how important is it now to make the statement victory?
Look, I think every test and every game you go in to get a victory. We're not a team here to push teams close and make up numbers by any chance. So we'll focus on what we can do. But of course, we'll be looking to get a victory.
And what do you make of this All Blacks team? Lost 3 out of 6 in the championship. Where do you see they're at? And some people say they maybe lost a bit of their aura.
Look, I think like Ellis has alluded to, like New Zealand are one of the best teams in the world, and they always have been, and they always will be up there. So that aura is still there. They're an incredibly tough team to play against. But coming here is an incredibly tough place to come. So I think it'll be a good battle.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.